Hello there, YouTube, and welcome to a 38-degree Tuesday, the 3rd of February. As you can see, that's the sun on the other side of that fog cloud that's all around us. You can see kind of a blue hue in the sky. It's supposed to be nice the next couple of days, or at least till Friday. Hopefully that'll get here and extend. It'd be nice to have a nice weekend and go for another ride. Boy, that 61-degree ride, that'll stick with me for a bit because that was nice. But anyway, at the moment, listen to all them log trucks. There's some set of wood somewhere just flat getting diminished. I mean, they are just, it's like a freeway out there. Empty trucks coming up, loaded trucks coming down. But anyway, welcome to Tuesday, and y'all coming along. 47 degrees, and it was foggy the entire way here.
Yes, it was, just like this.
Yeah, sometimes
thicker.
Yeah. And the people with ways, every,
2
mile.
feet.
Yeah.
Fog ahead, fog ahead.
That's like, jeez.
Yeah, we see it.
Captain Obvious. You know, if you're using Waze, you see all the people ahead of you that's reported it.
Yeah, so what?
Just nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
Mama?
Yes, I have.
Made it to Tuesday. How about that?
I know it.
And I think once this fog breaks out, probably turn sunshine on us.
It's going to be a pretty day.
Yeah. What's it supposed to predict? Whoa, 58 degrees.
Oh, man. That's something.
Is the prediction. Nice. All right, Mama. Let's go in there and earn our keep.
All right.
All right. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
I love you. See you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye now. I promise you, by the time you get the new fuel filter in this thing, and you'll have some choice words in the back of your head. Man, that thing's a fighter. Oh well, let me get the all tied up. I got it on in the Oetiker clamps. Those Nipex Oetiker clamp pliers. And man, if you don't have these things, you're in trouble. Gotta have them. I see people trying to do them with dikes and stuff, and it does not collapse that thing correctly. But the tricky thing is the filter, has this metal stay, and then this bolts to the frame, and then that bolts to there. But it's a T30 with a nut on the end. You got to figure out how to hold it, because the hose, by the time you get that on there, the hose is really tight against where the T30 is. So, and you can't do it backwards because then the nut will drive itself into the hose. So I have a little 1/4-inch bit I just hold in with some vice grip pliers, just enough to hold it while I loosen it and tighten it. And when you go back on your ground wire, the bolt goes through, and then the little biting washer goes in after it, so that bites into the, what did I just do? Oh, so that bites into the plate. So the washer goes between the mount or the plate and the eye of the ground wire. Get the best ground out of it. Here we are. Unnecessary amount of fiddling around to do a fuel filter, but it's way better than the fuel filters that's buried up here on the F3s, where you have to literally loosen the fairing to get a plate out so you can even get your hands on it. It's a nightmare on F3s. A lot of body work just to get to a fuel filter. But that's the way they are. They've been that way since day one. And mistakenly, I've seen, because this kind of has an F3-ish style frame on there, I kept thinking that the new Spyders were up there, but they're still in the place they've basically always been. But now the return is, it wise off down here. for the, you know, the overpressure where it bleeds back, and that is in the way. And the older ones, it was a different setup, and how you could get to everything a lot easier. But it is what it is. You cry a little bit and then just move on. There we are, all nice and clean and neat. And see, this bracket holds that return hose, so you can't bow it far enough out of the way to get that little T30 Torx bit in there. So you got to kind of unrelease everything and bend and twist and pull, and I don't know, it just feels uncomfortable doing that. But there she is, nice and neat. Now the next task of the morning is to get that Evap filter put in. That is not a fun one, just because of the clearance you have. You can't even see the upper screw that you need to get to. I've even found an extra one of those screws and literally just reach by, because it's just going to replace it anyway, reach behind that filter with like a little pry thing and literally break the plastic screw off, and just the pieces fall down, retrieve those and put a new one in it. It's just not worth the fight. We'll see how this one goes. Get it out, and you slide that in there, and whoop, pops right out. So I found another screw, and then he's got a bunch of electrical stuff in there, and that hose is wrapping around that, so I don't have the full length of the hose. So this is going to be really tricky to try to hold that hose on to keep it from popping off and getting that clamp back down on it. There's the old one. I don't know if I can see down in there. That thing's nasty inside there. But anyway, there's a nice shiny new one, and after that, we're just we're in full assembly mode from there. Probably clean that back of that box out a little bit, so that, I mean, just touch anything that gets dirty back there. And then we'll just start hacking stuff back together. Not hacking, but putting it back together. That's a bad word when you're working on motorcycles. Don't ever say hack. You get some ears will raise up over that. What? You gonna do what? There she is, all tucked in nice and tight. Get my hoses back down here. Move these out of the way so they can get a little flex going on there. Popped in there, little holders there. There we are. Done. If she's alive and kicking, all the lights work. I was worried about that with all those connections. There was a ton of them. Everything's on and functioning. I know it's really loud. You probably can't hear me over the mic. All the covers are off. Those 1330s are a little noisy when the covers are off. But anyway, I just got the GPS to mount and put all the covers back on. And the tub, when I took the tub off, pieces fell everywhere. And I'm like, what is that stuff, you know? So I gathered them up, and it's the hooks at the bottom. I don't know if he bottomed out on something, but the little hangers that go against the frame were all busted. Well, all them things are doing is just keeping the tub from bouncing back and forth. So she's got a little bit of safety wire repair down there. It's just to keep it from, you know, if you were to grab the bottom and lift up, it would pivot. And you'll hear, if you got a bunch of stuff in there, it'll bounce on the bottom. It's got a huge mount on the top. The bottom is literally just keeping the bottom of the tub from bouncing. So it's a temporary permanent fix. There's no reason to replace the tub over that. So anyway, luckily I found all the pieces and was able to erect or set the thing back together. Yeah. Man, all these wires, I found a bunch of connections that these wires for these aftermarket kits, none of this stuff is waterproof at all. and there's all kinds of oxidation going on in there. I worry about the future of those lights, going out. I can't go through all the connections. I mean, there's like a whole bunch of them, and all the stuff I touch, I make sure I clean and degrease. And I can let him know to, when you get a free moment, just go through and one by one disconnect them, get some dielectric grease in there. We use the worst stuff. Permatex works really well, is really good as well. And the thing wouldn't start. So now it's thrown code, so now I don't have to hook the thing back up. And I most likely lost the time when I took the fairing off and had all the dash disconnected. But there she goes. She's going through her initial, get her up to fan spinning. I need to see what happens with the coolant and go from there. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I'm telling you, I finished this thing at the 11th hour. It's 4:35. I mean, I just finished it and went and washed my hands so I didn't dirty up my phone. The battery still has 1.1 amps that it's throwing at it through the BMW charger. And it's cold enough now. I mean, it's still warm to the touch, but it's cold enough that the coolant, I need to add just a smidge into it. If I do that in the morning, I got the paperwork to finish out, and she's done. The Garmin XT2 she's wired in. It's on the left handlebar where he requested. He's got I don't know if these are Le Monster or who these are, but he's got them on both sides. And anyway, you can adjust it. It doesn't have a whole lot of room because that stem that's on there is not very long. So, but I mean, he can play around with it some more, and you get a little bit longer ones to make it easier as well. Yeah, she's golden. Man, that turned out to be a job. Well, for me, it turned out to be a job. I literally had I had one little interruption today, but other than that, it was all me. Yeah, the easy part's putting it all together. But I had to make sure all the wires were going the right direction, and I made a mistake and didn't put the glove box lock in there while the thing was still loose, so I had to fight to get that on. I wasn't going to take as much as I had off, so I just reaching through the speaker holes, and I got it on there. There's a whole lot of braille going on there. And what was the other thing? It was all my doing. Oh, jeez. A couple of the couplers that go up to the switch housing here, I'm routing the cable back through the fairing. I was telling you about, you gotta be careful with that thing. It can usually just slides right out, but if it doesn't, you don't want anything to snag. Anyway, I'm putting that thing through, and I go, why is this 4-pin coupler sitting right there? I go, oh man, I know what that thing is. And then I see a square one sitting with it down there. Holy moly, when I was putting the fairing on, I think the things are supposed to be like tied back to the fairing, but they were loose. And how I seen them was through this hole right here. When I was just trying to look for the cable, I'm like, oh no. But luckily, the bottom of the glove box is rubbery, and I was able to, well, not the glove box, but there's some like rubber that goes down where the tub goes in. And anyway, I was able to just roll that rubber back and pull them through and route them back to the center dash. That was a holy moly moment there. It's just my fault. And then he has some extra wires that are coming up through the glove. I'm not sure what they do. They look like little chargers for something. I don't know what he's charging in there, but there's two different ones. One's red and one's black. I'm not sure, but It's got a cigarette lighter thing that's up front, and that thing had kind of moved. The little glove box thing wouldn't go in the hole. I had to rearrange that. And anyway, it was just piddly things. Just things, I mean, when they get 28,000 miles, it's been ridden. I mean, I don't think all the motorcycles in my garage equal up 28,000 miles. Well, the Iron's got almost 12 on it. Still, I don't think 12, maybe not. And geez, I've had the Iron for, this is going on the 14th year. Have had the DR for about the 14th year. This will be the 7th year for the Slim. Crazy. Wow. It'll be the 5th year for the GT and the Himalayan. Wow. Where does the time go? The 2nd year for the Pan America, but that's back in October. 5th year for the Flirty in October. It's crazy. Where does all that time go? And you look at the miles on those things, and here, you know, one of the problems was I was, you know, demoing the BMWs, and for a while I was doing the BMWs and the Spyders, so all my stuff sat, you know. You feel obligated to ride them if they're giving them to you as a demo. And then this year I'll have a Spyder of some sort. Actually, I know what it is, but I'm leaving that as a surprise. And I left. I don't know if he'll ever use this for something else. So I kind of did like he did with the other. I'm assuming he put those in. I mean, it could have been somebody else. But anyway, I neatly bundled the stuff up in case, you know, use it on something else and you need more wiring, because that would really be unfortunate to have to order another Garmin base. I'm sure it's like anything with Garmin. Garmin must think they're Apple computer or something, because they charge a premium price for their stuff. It is good. I mean, the quality's really good. You know, whether you like the particular unit you bought for whatever your need is, that's something you got to decide up front, because there's different units. These XTs for like traveling, and this one's the XT2, are just fantastic. Nice, clean, rarely clean screen. Man, it looks like you're looking at an iPhone screen. And if you remember, Garmin's were really, I don't know how they charged as much as they did, because it looked like 1990 technology on the screens. But that made them very reliable and didn't consume a lot of power. But wow, things are changing so fast, and you look at those old Garmin's, like, dude, I think it's horrible. I mean, you get so used to, you know, details like that, and the text and stuff is so fuzzy. You're like, and I'm not seeing right, or is that thing really? I can't even read what it's saying. But anyway, fun times. So I think from here, got about 20 minutes. I already cleaned most of my tools up. So like I said, I'll leave the battery on the cooker. I need to pull one of these terminals off here and make sure he doesn't have any kind of draw going on here. What? Well, there's one major problem. He's got the here, let's do the correct light here so you can see what we're doing. He's got the tender lead underneath the main lead. Oh, that will literally leave you stranded. The main battery cable has to touch the battery. Accessories go on the top. So I don't know if in haste, I don't want to disconnect the charger. I think, yeah, it looks like it's correct. You guys tell me, because I'll just stick it underneath here. You know, I think maybe that positive might be on the underside as well. I'll do that before. I haven't gone and grabbed the V800 because I've already reset everything and the service and everything, and I was being a knucklehead and wasn't thinking about when you take the headset or the fairing off of there, you disconnect the cluster. Well, the cluster, I think it holds memory for a little bit, but it's not flash memory. So anyway, I'm gonna roll with that. Hope you enjoyed the goofing around with this thing. Boy, I can sure make a project out of one. Well, hello there, YouTube. Alrighty. Beautiful coming home, except for the last half. It got really foggy. Actually, it was coming up here. It was foggy, wasn't it? It got crazy foggy. And we're like listening at a GC's gas station there. You always hear the frogs going out there. There was a killdeer that was absolutely freaking out.
Oh, he's losing this stuff.
I don't know
what he's upset about, but he was clearly upset.
Very upset. He's just going back and forth, just carrying on. It's weird having those things here so far. I guess it's not, like Kelly says, as a killdeer flies, you're not very far from the coast, but you get seagulls out here every once in a while too. It's like, what are you doing out here? But anyway, just gotta fill out some paperwork, double test that battery, and take that Spyder for a ride, and we're done with that thing. On to the next quest. Hope you guys enjoy tagging along with that thing, dragging it on. It's fun though. But on that, I think we're gonna roll out on you.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same Smoak time, same Smoak channel. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, and you guys have an amazing Wednesday or Thursday.
Thank you. Be hump day tomorrow. All right. We'll see you then.
See you in the morning.
See you then. Bye-bye. Thanks now.